Hi, and welcome back to Free for All Friday on Focal Point with Brian Fisher. The program is Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on conservative talk radio, on the American Family Radio Talk Network, AFR Talk. This is high definition radio, where we give you more content per cubic inch of air than any other place on the radio dial. At least that is our goal. Where else are you going to tune in to talk radio and hear about Oompa Loompas? Where is that happening? Where else on the radio band is that kind of cutting-edge information being distributed to a listening audience? Anyway, remember when President Obama was running for election, right before the election, 5 days before the election, he said, we are only 5 days away. He said this back in the campaign, we are only 5 days away from fundamentally transforming America, turning America from a Republican democracy into a European socialist state. Listen to Obama yesterday. Let's listen.
The reason is reforming healthcare is going to help the economy over the long term. Not only will it help lower costs for businesses, not only will it help families, it'll free up entrepreneurship in this country, because if you've got a great idea for your own business, but you've never tried it because your spouse had a pre-existing condition and you didn't want to lose your employer-based coverage, you've got the ability now to get your own coverage. That's security. That's freedom. So we're now only 5 days away from finishing the job. 5 days.
There's that 5-day word again. So what President Obama said in 2008, we're 5 days away from fundamentally transforming America. Now he's saying yesterday, we are 5 days away from finishing that job. In other words, if Obamacare goes through, President Obama knows that America will never be the same, that this will represent the completion of his intention, his agenda to convert America into a European socialist state. If Obamacare goes into effect, ladies and gentlemen, he knows that his job of turning America from a Republican democracy, a republic form of government, a democratic republic, turning it from that into a European socialist state, that job will be complete. That's what makes it inexcusable. Makes it inexcusable that Republican senators today voted with Harry Reid. Inexcusable. Don't tell me it can't work. Don't tell me it won't work. You got to try. I mean, this is the last ditch. You know, Pat Buchanan saying it's time to fix bayonets, saying that in the column on WND.com. It's time to fix bayonets. That's what you do when you're out of ammunition. He's talking back to the battle for Little Round Top at Gettysburg. Great scene in that war where the Union, left flank of the Union, about ready to be swept by the Confederates, and the Union is out of ammunition. They have no more bullets. And so Lieutenant Joshua Chamberlain says, okay, boys, fix bayonets. They put the bayonets on their rifles and they charged down the hills, and the Confederates turned and ran. So it's time to fix bayonets. You don't quit. When you're out of ammo, fix bayonets. And the Republicans this morning were not prepared to do it. Now here's Bob Corker, one of the, and then we'll get back to the phones. Bob Corker had a showdown with Ted Cruz yesterday on the Senate floor. We'll play Ted Cruz's response in the next hour. But here's what Senator Corker said, and this is an amazing thing. When you parse what Bob Corker is saying here, he's admitting something, and I don't think he realizes how devastating it is what he's admitting here. Let's listen.
Not jammed, but it's my understanding, again, relative to this vote tonight, happening tomorrow instead, is that my two colleagues, who I respect, have sent out emails around the world and turned this into a show, possibly, and therefore they want people around the world to watch, maybe them and others on the Senate floor, and that is taking priority over getting legislation back to the House so they could take action before the country's government shuts down, and by the way, causing them possibly to put in place, again, some other good policy.
So Bob Corker says, look, we don't want the American people watching us vote on this thing. The reason they're doing it is they want the American people to watch. And that's exactly right. They want the American people to see what's being done in the name of Barack Obama and what's being done to their own constituents. Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, they want the world to see what the Republicans are doing. And Bob Corker is saying that's not a good idea. That's not in our national interest to have the American people watch us vote on Obamacare. So he doesn't want people seeing. He doesn't want people to watch him when he casts a vote with Harry Reid, with Barack Obama, and for Obamacare. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Rebecca, Rogers, Arkansas. Rebecca, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian,
Hey.
I called the office of your favorite senator from well, one of your favorites. You don't like either one of them. I don't either. John Rosemond, the Republican, who got mad at Ted Cruz the other day, and I have talked to his people a lot about that. And I have written him letters. If you're going to yell at anybody, yell at Harry Reid and yell at John McCain and yell at Mitch McConnell. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing him in person. But
Well, and Senator
I just knew
Bozeman,
that when you were naming the 19 people, I just knew John was going to be one of them. I thought, well, he's gotten so many calls. I know, because he's so upset. No, his office said that he got more calls that said, do not shut down the government. But then I talk about this issue brief that Hans von Spakovsky has sent them all, that they're not reading, that says everything that's pertinent, that should be done is going to be done. All the
everything that stays
Social
open.
Security
The Social Security
everything
checks go out. The Medicare reimbursements go out. The military gets paid. There will be some military that won't get paid. They'll be on furlough, but they'll be made whole, so they're getting what amounts to a paid vacation. No reason to feel sorry for any federal employee that has to be furloughed in this deal, because they're just getting a paid vacation. If you were told, look, I'm going to give you the next 1 week off, I'm going to give you the next 2 weeks off, I'm going to give you the next 3 weeks off. Now, you're not going to get your paycheck till the end of the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks, but then you're going to get it all in a lump sum. So you're going to get paid for the next 3 weeks, even though you're not working a lick. Would you take that deal? You bet you would. Absolutely. You'd find a way to do it. You get 3 weeks of paid vacation. So let's not feel sorry for the government workers, the federal government workers that may get a paid vacation, a temporary paid vacation out of this thing. And Rebecca, Senator Bozeman has been denying that he yelled at Ted Cruz. I've heard from other people that have, but that was witnessed by 4 people. There were 4 eyewitnesses to him yelling at Ted Cruz.
Yes. Oh, yes, I believe it.
All right, Rebecca,
and
listen.
He is mild-mannered, but he got upset.
Yeah, this is really teeing them off. They are so frosted with Ted Cruz right now. You cannot believe the level of anger. In fact, John McCain, an aide, swore on John McCain's half. He used profanity, used the F word, saying that's how much John McCain hates Ted Cruz. He doesn't just hate him, he effing hates him. That's what he said to somebody about John McCain's feelings toward Ted Cruz. So they hate his guts right now. And it's the Republicans that hate him, the guy that's fighting for us, the guy that's fighting tooth and nail to the last ditch to stop Obamacare. He's the one that they hate. All right, Rebecca, listen, I appreciate that. Let's go to John in Lottie, Florida. John, welcome. Thanks for calling, and thanks for waiting. John, Lottie, Florida, what's on your mind?
Hi, Brian.
Hey.
I thought about getting rid of Islam, but it says in the Bible that if we get rid of Islam, then one world government's going to move in, and the bankers are backing up the one world government. So.
Well, but also you got to realize in Revelation there's a one world counterfeit religion. That's part of the end times mix. Is Satan is always working to form a one world government, but he's also working at the same time to get the entire world devoted to a counterfeit religion, and a counterfeit alternative to Christianity. And again, I'm not saying that we are living in the very last days. I don't know that we are. Every generation of Christians thought they were. Every one of them has been wrong. So I'm not saying that I know something that prior generations of Christians haven't. But what I am saying is if we're in the last days, then Islam is clearly the religion that Satan is promoting to be the counterfeit alternative to Christianity. And I understand there's only one place on earth. Somebody gave me this information today. I got to check it out, but because I hadn't heard it, that Japan does not allow any Muslims to immigrate there. They can come on work visas but they can't immigrate to Japan. They cannot become Japanese citizens. The Quran is not permitted in the country of Japan. The teaching of Islam is not permitted in the country of Japan. No mosques are permitted in the country of Japan. So that's one nation, if that's correct, if that information is correct, that's one nation that's got its eyes open. All right, anything else you add, John?
No, I thank Jesus for you, Brian. You do a good job.
All right, thank you, John. I appreciate that. Let's grab one more call before the end of the hour. Let's go to Ben in southeast Missouri. Ben, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind? Ben, are you with me?
Yes, I'm sorry. You cut out there for a second. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I really appreciate your show because it kind of keeps me up to date on everything that's going on. So for that, I thank you.
You're welcome.
I was wanting to know if you had little time for an Obama joke.
Okay. How long does it take to tell?
Not very long.
Okay, make it. Go hit it.
Okay. Well, there's a lady passed on, and she was at the gates, sitting down in front of St. Peter, and he was reviewing her life, and she gets to looking around and looking at these clocks, and then she says, "What are all these clocks doing?" He says, "Well, there's clocks there, and they move every time somebody tells a lie." He said, "See, Mother Teresa's clock over there hasn't moved, and Abraham Lincoln's clock over there, it's only moved twice." And she goes, "Well, I don't remember seeing Obama's clock anywhere." And he said, "Oh, that." He said, "Well, we use it in God's office. He uses it as a ceiling fan."
All right, Ben, I appreciate the call. Thank you for that. Use it in God's office as a ceiling fan. You're listening to Focal Point on AFR Talk. We'll be right back after the news. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be back.